Fitbug, we are a corporate wellness company, so we provide holistic digital wellness programs to large companies primarily. And we use data and technology to make that scalable and personalized and intelligent. And so about 88% of healthcare claim costs are actually related to the individual's lifestyle. And so we work across the lifestyle pillars and use data to tie all of these together and sort of understand a lot of things that the industry hasn't understood, and also work sometimes with insurance companies to provide more accurate assessments of risk in the health insurance space. And so during this journey, which we typically look at 12-month programs for companies, we collect a lot of data along the way. So we got the wearable trackers, which take step data, sleep data, and so on. But there's also a lot of engagement through the online and also very much mobile platforms where we capture a lot of data around the client and the users, obviously. And so our business is very much driven by data. That's why this is incredibly important to us. And I wanted to quote Casey to not be a lawyer, be a strategist. And I mean, that's why I'm here as a CEO versus the CTO or someone working in the compliance department, which we don't actually have one because we're a small company. But it is really strategic to us. Data is at the heart of what we do. For time reasons, I'm not going to go into this too much, but obviously data security is something that a company of our type, we are a technology company, although it's sort of in the wellness space, it's really important. It's kind of hygiene, but something that at any size of company you need to consider data security. From a privacy perspective, we have very much been, what Alan from Wise said, the privacy statements being written by lawyers for lawyers. And that's kind of been, the industry standard, and you have to protect yourself as a company. And so what we're working on now is very much to simplify that and make it much more for the user and the consumer. And so I'm seeing this shift and the regulations coming in very much not as something that is just about ticking boxes, but very much about sort of a rethinking of how we address all of these areas. And sort of looking into the future, obviously I'm here today, we're already starting to look at full compliance of the new regulations. And I just sort of wanted to pick out for our area specifically the right to access and rectify data. So we are sort of in the wellness, it's not as critical, but when we look at health data and so on, what does it mean when you allow for users to come in and rectify the data? And we have other motivators, but in areas where you, for example, reduce premiums and there's an actual financial incentive to have certain behavior, what does that mean if you can actually go in and modify that yourself? So this is for the industry sort of quite interesting questions to answer. So we are moving more towards as well in the R&D space, not in our current products, towards artificial intelligence and really looking at huge amount of behavioral data and how we can learn from that and really help individuals move towards healthier habits, also using very much company culture and team aspects for that. And there's definitely some challenges, like how do we actually address what data is shared to partners. We work a lot through partners, to our clients, and also shared back to the users. So too intelligence sometimes comes across as obviously as spooky. And the challenge is how do we build trust with the user to allow us to give the best coaching and the best support, because ultimately if the trust isn't there, we're not capturing the data, we won't be able to help the clients or the users in the same way. We're also looking with a great amount of interest at the whole sort of conversations around differentiated privacy. Apple's kind of leading that to a large extent. There are organizations that are at the forefront, and very much commend Mozilla on all their efforts there. It is a continuously evolving landscape, and as a small organization, it's hugely helpful to have MEF and other support networks that we may not be able to hire very expensive consultants to come in and give us compliance, but we definitely are under the same regulations as everyone else. And so just to round up, trust is part of our core values, and the changing environment is very much in the DNA of a fairly small technology company. So in that sense, we're in a good space. And creating peace of mind is part of our products. So in that sense, the support we can get from organizations to help small companies as well to be compliant and to not only tick the boxes, and again back to being a strategist versus a lawyer, how do we make our products better? I do believe that the regulations coming in will help the industry to improve our products. It is certainly better to be forced to build trust with the consumer versus the consumer being forced into your products. So thank you very much.
Thank you.